From the legendary pony boy to the extraordinary bearded lady, these performers left a mark on the world unlike anyone before them. Their acts drew gasps and disbelief, yet the lives behind the curtain were just as shocking and often unbelievable. Fame never softened the reality they lived with every day. So join us for today's video as we take a look at 15 circus freaks who live lives shaped by rarity, hardship, and mystery. Let's start with number 15. Number 15, Robert L. Huddleston. Robert L. Huddleston was born on a Missouri farm in the late 1800s with a rare condition that caused his legs to bend backward. Standing upright was never an option, and crutches proved useless, so Robert adapted by moving on all fours. From an early age, he worked the land like any other farmhand, milking cows and handling the grind of daily labor. When as a young adult, he became a logging teamster, securing himself to wagons and hauling lumber close to 15 miles a day. To protect his hands, he strapped wooden blocks to them, strengthening his grip while shielding them from rough terrain. Years of this labor built exceptional upper body strength. During World War II, Robert worked as a blacksmith and carpenter, challenging every assumption placed on him. After the war, steady employment disappeared. He turned to carnivals as the pony boy, lifting heavy loads and swinging his leg over his shoulder. For more than 35 years, he toured successfully, earning respect and living life by his own rules. Number 14, Joseph Merrick. Joseph Merrick was born in Leicester, England in 1862 with severe physical deformities that grew worse with time. His childhood was marked by cruelty, including abuse from his own father, who eventually forced him out of the home as a teenager. Despite this treatment, Joseph remained gentle, quiet, and deeply kind. With nowhere else to turn, he entered the world of sideshows and became known as the Elephant Man. Although the exhibitions kept him off the streets, many people treated him without dignity or compassion. His life shifted when Dr. Frederick Trevis invited him to live at a London hospital. There, Joseph finally experienced care, respect, and safety. He was given a private room and formed genuine friendships for the first time. Members of London's upper class visited him often, bringing gifts and conversation. Joseph died at just 27 years old, but his final years were calm and humane. While his appearance drew attention, it was his kindness that truly defined who he was. Number 13, Charles Sherwood Stratton. Charles Sherwood Stratton was born healthy in Bridgeport in 1838, but a pituitary condition halted his growth early in life. By the age of 4, he stood only 25 inches tall. In 1842, showman P.T. Barnum discovered him and introduced him to audiences as General Tom Thumb. Barnum exaggerated Charles's age and background to heighten curiosity, and crowds responded immediately. Charles performed comedic routines and character impersonations, most famously portraying Napoleon. He toured Europe, performing for Queen Victoria and King Louis Philippe, and quickly became an international attraction. The success brought Barnum enormous profit and Charles lasting fame. Later, Charles married fellow Little Person performer Lavinia Warren in a widely publicized ceremony. Together, they toured extensively, appearing in hundreds of cities. Despite his size, Charles achieved wealth and recognition that few performers ever reached. His legacy continues through preserved artifacts housed at Barnum's Museum, standing as reminders of his remarkable career and lasting impact on entertainment history. Number 12, Myrtle Corbin. Myrtle Corbin was born in 1868 in Lincoln County with 4 legs, caused by a parasitic twin attached to her body. The additional limbs showed limited movement, but were unable to support weight. At 13, Myrtle began performing in sideshows, often wearing socks on her extra feet to draw attention. Her warm personality and confident presence quickly made her popular with audiences. At her peak, when she earned as much as $450 a week. Despite her success, Myrtle longed for a quieter life away from the stage. She married Dr. James and retired to focus on family. Together, they had 8 children, though 4 tragically died young. Financial hardship arrived in 1909, forcing Myrtle to return to performing into her 40s. She retired again around 1915. Myrtle died in 1928 at the age of 59 from a severe skin infection. Her life balanced public fascination with private hardship, shaped by fame and a deep desire for normalcy beyond the spotlight. Number 11. George Constantinis. George Constantini, later known as the tattooed Greek prince, was born in Albania in 1833 and spoke several languages fluently. He joined a French-led gold expedition to Burma, which ended in disaster when the group was captured. While most members were executed, George survived a brutal 3-month tattooing ordeal that covered his body with nearly 400 detailed designs. After returning to Europe, experts studied the rare Burmese techniques etched into his skin. George toured across Europe, displaying his tattoos before traveling to America. There, P.T. Barnum paid him $100 a day and promoted him as the Illustrated Man. Audiences were stunned by both his appearance and his story. Eventually, George returned to Greece and withdrew from public life. His eyesight slowly faded, and by 1894, he vanished from historical records. His life remains a haunting example of survival, exploitation, and mystery within the world of sideshow history. Number 10. Ella Harper. Ella Harper was born with a condition that caused her knees to bend backward, forcing her to move on all fours instead of walking upright. Growing up in Tennessee, she was mocked by other children, though Ella felt steadier and more at ease close to the ground. At 12 years old, a traveling circus arrived, and the ringmaster immediately recognized her unusual presence. She was promoted as moving like a camel, and curious audiences rushed to see her perform. Night after night, Ella executed cartwheels and flips across the stage, drawing energy from the crowd's reaction. Headlining with the Nickel Plate Circus, she earned over $200 a week, while her photographs appeared in newspapers across the country. After 4 years, she stepped away from performing and returned home financially secure. In 1905, she married a gentle teacher named Robert, but his sudden death ended the marriage. She later became a mother, though both children died in infancy. Diagnosed with colon cancer, Ella died in 1921, her resolve never fully fading. Number 9. Josephine Clefoulia. Josephine Clefoulia began growing facial hair at the age of 8, and by 16, her beard extended more than 6 inches. Uncertain how to guide her future, her parents sent her to a boarding school in Geneva, where she learned refinement and composure. Accepting her appearance, Josephine toured Europe with her father acting as her manager. In 1851, she gave birth to a daughter, followed in 1852 by a son named Albert, who also had excessive body hair. The family later traveled to the United States and joined P.T. Barnum's American Museum. Barnum presented Josephine as the bearded lady of Geneva and promoted Albert as infant Esau. A persistent rumors questioning her gender led to a public medical examination, where doctors confirmed she was female. Once admired by high society and gifted a diamond by Napoleon III, Josephine's fortunes slowly declined. She died penniless in an English workhouse in 1875, her fame erased by time. Number 8. Johnny Eck. Johnny Eck was born in Baltimore in 1911 without legs and was the fraternal twin of his fully limbed brother, Robert. Johnny adapted quickly, learning to walk on his hands before Robert learned to crawl. Standing under 2 feet tall, he refused to let his condition define his limits. By the time Johnny was 12 years old, he and his brother were performing together in sideshows across America. Audiences were amazed by his agility, balance routines, and sharp sleight-of-hand skills. Despite constant attention, Johnny remained cheerful, humorous, and approachable. In 1932, he appeared in the film Freaks as the halfboy and later portrayed bird-like creatures in several Tarzan films. Away from the stage, Johnny enjoyed painting, model car racing, and famously climbed the Washington Monument using only his hands. Later in life, he returned to Baltimore with his brother, greeting admirers from their porch. Johnny lived to 79, remembered for his warmth, talent, and relentless energy. Number 7. Grady Stiles Jr. Grady Stiles Jr. was born with ectrodactyly, a condition that fused his fingers and toes into claw-like shapes. By the age of 7, he was already performing in his father's sideshow act known as Lobster Boy. As an adult, he married a carnival worker and together they had 2 children who inherited the same condition. Touring as the Lobster family, they attracted large crowds wherever they appeared. Away from the spotlight, however, Grady was abusive, violent, and deeply consumed by alcohol. He repeatedly beat his wives and children. When his daughter became engaged to a man Grady despised, he murdered the groom by shooting him. The trial became a national spectacle, yet judges ruled that no prison could accommodate him. Grady later bragged that he could kill again without consequence. His behavior worsened until his wife, Maria, arranged his murder. In 1992, Grady was shot and killed while sitting at home watching television. Number 6. Petrus Gonçalves. Petrus Gonçalves was born in the 16th century with hypertrichosis, a condition that caused thick hair to cover his face and body. Initially mistaken for a wild creature, he was imprisoned at the court of King Henry II. Royal physicians later recognized his humanity and arranged for his education alongside the French nobility. Petrus studied Latin, military theory, and the customs of court life. As an adult, he married a woman named Catherine, and 4 of their 7 children inherited his condition. Known as the Hairy family, they traveled between European courts as noble curiosities. Although treated with courtesy, they were still viewed as living spectacles. Portraits of Petrus and his children circulated widely throughout Europe. Some historians believe his life inspired Beauty and the Beast, though earlier versions of the story already existed. Petrus lived between privilege and exhibition, remembered as both a learned man and a curiosity of his era. Number 5. Chang and Eng Bunker. Chang and Eng Bunker were born conjoined in 1811, connected at the chest by a short band of cartilage. From childhood, they learned to move together seamlessly, walking, swimming, and rowing in perfect coordination. In 1824, they were discovered by a British merchant and brought to America in 1829, where they were exhibited as exotic marvels. They toured the world, performing acrobatics and allowing medical examinations, and their fame eventually gave rise to the term Siamese twins. Although initially treated as oddities, they later took control of their performances and earnings. By 1839, they retired from touring, became U.S. citizens, and settled in North Carolina. They married local sisters and went on to have 21 children, alternating between households every 3 days and maintaining 2 separate family lives. Their community viewed them as eccentric but respected. Even the Civil War failed to divide them. In 1874, Chang died from a blood clot, and Eng followed just hours later, their lives too physically intertwined for one to survive without the other. Number 4. Millie and Christine McCoy. Millie and Christine McCoy were conjoined twins born into slavery in 1851 on a plantation in Whiteville, North Carolina. At just 10 months old, they were displayed at fairs and sideshows, labeled as freaks of nature. They were bought and sold multiple times before showman Joseph Pearson Smith acquired them as toddlers. Smith brought the twins and their mother, Monomaya, to Britain, where their nightly performances captivated audiences. Joined at the lower spine, Millie and Christine moved with uncanny coordination, often walking on either 4 legs or 2. They referred to themselves as I and learned to sing in harmony, with Christine as soprano and Millie as alto. They mastered 5 languages and toured the world performing as the 2-headed nightingale. As adults, they took control of their careers, creating choreographed dances and piano duets. They eventually purchased their childhood farm, but a devastating fire in 1909 destroyed their home. Both sisters died of tuberculosis in 1912. Millie first, followed shortly by Christine. Number 3. Isaac W. Sprague. Isaac W. Sprague developed a mysterious condition during childhood that caused extreme weight loss, leaving him skeletal in appearance. He attempted to live a normal life, working first as a cobbler and later as a grocer, but his fragile body could not keep up with the physical demands. A show promoter eventually spotted him at a carnival, and Isaac soon began touring as the living skeleton. His dangerously thin frame shocked audiences wherever he appeared. When P.T. Barnum recruited him for his American Museum, Isaac became a national sensation. To remain upright during performances, he constantly sipped milk to maintain his energy. Despite his fame, Isaac disliked circus life. He married his sweetheart, Tamar Moore, and they had 3 sons. but ongoing financial struggles repeatedly forced him back into the sideshow world. Doctors were never able to determine the cause of his condition, which continued to deteriorate his muscles. Isaac died at just 45 years old, weighing only 43 pounds at a height of 5 feet 6 inches. And number 2, Prince Randian. Prince Randian, also known as Anne Randian, was born without arms or legs, yet lived with remarkable independence. He performed dressed in a red and white knitted outfit that made him resemble a caterpillar as he wriggled across the stage. Audiences watched closely as he lit cigarettes using only his mouth, holding the match between his teeth, striking it and lighting the cigarette with precise control. His act extended far beyond smoking. He painted by gripping a brush with his lips, wrote using a pen held in his mouth, and even shaved himself using a razor attached to a wooden block, moving his face carefully against it. All of his tools were stored in a custom-made box that he claimed to have built himself. Discovered by P.T. Barnum in 1889, Prince Randian performed for decades at Coney Island and on tour. In 1932, he appeared briefly in the film Freaks. Just hours after his final performance in 1934, he died of a heart attack at the age of 63. Number 1, Stefan Bobrowski. Stefan Bobrowski, known as Lionel the Lionface Boy, was born covered in thick golden blonde hair due to a condition called hypertrichosis. The hair was densest on his face, giving him the appearance of a lion. His mother believed the condition was caused by witnessing a lion maul his father while she was pregnant. Ashamed, she handed 4-year-old Stefan over to a circus, where he began performing as Lionel. His flowing mane and beard stunned audiences, making him appear as though he were cloaked in fur. Despite his striking appearance, Lionel was more than just a spectacle. He performed acrobatics and flips, winning over crowds with both athleticism and charm. Off stage, sure, he was gentle and soft-spoken. In 1901, Barnum and Bailey brought him to the United States, where he toured for nearly 2 decades. Though fame followed him everywhere, Stefan longed for a normal life and even dreamed of becoming a dentist. Still, the spotlight always pulled him back. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe.